Alrighty, folks. Millennial Mike has caught me in a situation where I was just wrong. And he's got video evidence, so I just got to take it. And hence the swing and a miss shirt, I guess.
Yeah, that is exactly why I wore this short shirt today. Actually, I'm glad that you picked that out. So, yeah, it's true, guys. After years of watching Zuber's channel, all of his predictions, every now and then he likes to pretend like he was close when he called that 3.79 versus 3.8, clearly losing his touch. But in this video, that was for total transactions, right? Off by the 0.1. Yeah, no big deal. I've got him dead to rights. He got this call so remarkably wrong that we have to listen to it. So, Mike, you ready for this video?
I am. I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. So I think one thing that makes the channel unique is I don't delete videos when I'm massively wrong. So let's find out where I was massively wrong.
We should aim at getting to 4. You said
Yes.
fork in the road. My goal is to go from 4 to 10.
Awesome.
But what should my time frame be, realistically?
Well, let me ask you this. How long did it take you to go from 0 to 4?
Surprisingly, 2018 to 2020, November to November, exactly 2 years.
So 2 years. I think getting the next 6 where we're at, because again, you're only going to do good or great deals. I think if you did that, I think if you got 6 in the next 4 years, that would be pretty good. That would be a total of 6 years getting to 10 units. And I don't know if you've run the numbers. I'm sure you have, but at what point do you replace your income, right? How many units, given variables and factors and all the stuff I'm sure you play with, how many do you need to? You're like, you know what? That number is just about big as that number.
Right. Yeah. It's between 25 and 30. If I got to 25 and 30, at the cash flow number I look at, which is $250 to $300 of straight profit per property, that's where I'm looking at getting to.
Yeah, so you're going to get there probably in the next 4 years. So you'll get to 10 units.
And you see, Mike, you said in the next 4 years, by November of 2024, I would maybe get to 10 units. But what we were actually talking about was rentals. So I didn't call you out when I made it to 10 units within 2 years of making that video. I wanted to make sure you wouldn't be able to clap back and say, well, what I meant was rental properties, not just overall unit count. So I said, that's fine. That's fine. I'm going to get them on record for this one. And I kept pushing. And I made it to 10 individual rental properties, 15 units by November of 2023, a year ahead of schedule. And if we go by 10 units, then I was 2 years ahead of schedule. You're wrong. The Crash Bros can go crazy in the comments. You've been proven incorrect, sir.
And I've never been more happy to be wrong. Let's just be clear. The reason you were able to do that is because I see you in me, right? I call it a hammer. I don't know what else to call it. You just don't stop. Once you find something that works, you keep going. You've expanded, you recycled capital. You've did all the things that I did to a different degree. And I'm proud of you. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm proud of you. It's awesome. You're an example for more folks, and congratulations. Just amazing.
Honestly, Mike, it's nice to hear that. It's very cool. It's humbling when somebody that you look up to and admire and respect, and you've got the book. I've read both the books, and people might not know I got the PDF copy of this before it was ever published. As one of your first friends on YouTube, your second interview ever, you were like, I'm thinking of publishing this book, Mike. Would you go and read through this PDF? And I said, sure. And I read through the entire thing in a night, let you know what my thoughts were, said you had to publish it. Now it's one of the most highly recommended books on Amazon is this book. The principles that you can learn from the book, and as much as I love the book, I love the channel more just because I actually like to watch and listen. The channel, one rental at a time, you can do it. We had our Q&A segment earlier where we talked about people wanting to get started and struggling to get started. That was me. It was Seattle, where I invest at the time, was the #1 appreciating market 23 months in a row for the entire nation. Interest rates were in the 5 and 5.5s at the time, a little bit better than today, but certainly worse than it has been in a few years prior. And there's always going to be people who are negative about your outlook, about the potential. And then when I got the first rental property, I really didn't know or couldn't see that pathway forward to get #2, #3, #4. But I did the work. I networked. I talked with you. I met so many other people. And now 4 years later, I have 10 rental properties, or just under 5 years later, excuse me, total time. I have 10 rental properties, 15 units. I've recycled capital. I've seller financed 4 deals. I've bought from wholesalers. I've bought off market. I've done the BRRRR strategy, all these different techniques that at first I didn't know anything about, but I watched your channel and many others like it. And now I'm at the point where, as I mentioned in a video earlier, I'm not even considered a rookie anymore. You need somebody else to come on to be the new guy that you can mentor. So I'm grateful to you. I really am. And if I had a follow-up question for you, just like I asked in that video that I referenced, your first goal, you always tell people, is just get to 4. So in that video, I was like, well, what should I do next? And you said I should aim for getting to 10. Well, now I've gotten to 10. Mike, what do I do next?
Well, the next goal is to replace your day job, just replace your income, right? Again, I do believe most people's lives fundamentally change at 4. You don't have to do any more. If you choose to get to 10, life gets really good. If you want to exit early, you've got to replace your income. Mm-hmm. So that's goal number 3.
Okay. Mike,
where are you today? You're like 50%, 40%, roughly?
So it's a good question, because in that video, I said I would probably need to get to 25 or 30, but I need to revise that, because what I didn't take into account at the time was that, sure, I'm looking at $250 to $300 per unit in cash flow. But as I get further and further away from purchasing those first units, they ain't making 250 or 300. They're making 600 or 700. So now I don't need 25 to 30. I might just need like 20. And even as I get closer to 20, it might even keep ticking down, because they just keep stacking. The rents keep increasing and my fixed rate debt stays the same.
Bingo. Yeah. So what I would advise is, you certainly could get there in under 2 years, where you are today, what you're doing today. You're compounding your knowledge. You're adding more things. Yeah, dude, you're 2 years. That'll be 7 total years.
Exciting.
To replace your income.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike, thank you for all of the years of mentorship so far. Thank you for another thing that I want to mention. One of my goals, as I was a guest on your channel because you wanted to interview somebody new, I then spent the next probably 2.5 years. I didn't come on your channel. I wasn't an expert. I don't have any right to give people advice. But I remember saying in one of your comments at about the 3-year mark that I had a goal to one day be considered an expert and be a guest on your channel. And then that's when we came up with a Q&A session where, hey, let's just figure out what other questions other people have. And now I get to be a guest. One of my goals was to get to be on your channel consistently. That's another one that I met. So thank you for that opportunity. Thank you for the years of mentorship. Thank you for the motivation. Thank you for the advice about networking. Thank you for the introduction to the lumberjack landlord and Dion, 2 of my very closest friends. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on stage with you, not with anybody else, not by myself. I get to go on stage in Vegas with you, Lumberjack, and Dion as one of the 4 REI Avengers. Like, what an honor. Thank you.
The work, it is possible. It's just another example of someone who doesn't listen to bullshit. Fear just makes it happen. And I am never been more happy to be wrong. So congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Mike, those are all the questions and videos we have for the day. For anybody who wants to send us more, please go ahead and contact me on Instagram or Mike and let us know what you got. And yeah, until then, we'll see you next time.
You got it. Thanks, buddy.